Hey everyone, welcome back to my house. Today I will be reviewing the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Yeah, this is a very interesting movie I have today. Today's quote is Crowns are inherited, kingdoms are earned. Alright, so as with all my new movie reviews, I'll be going through a spoiler free section for recommendations if you guys should actually see this movie in theaters since it's still in theaters. And then I'll go more in depth later on with a spoiler review of my entire movie with my rating, just like I did with Project Hail Mary the other week. So the big question, should you see this in theaters? Before I answer this question, I just want to say here on my channel, I value honesty and integrity. So I'm going to be straight up with you guys if I really do think you guys should be seeing these movies in theaters, because going to the movies nowadays is a lot of money, or whether you should be seeing these movies in general. And with this movie, I definitely gotta say, please do not see this movie in theaters. It is so not worth it. Please save your money. Go see any of the better movies in theaters right now. I'm sure there's plenty. Like Project Hail Mary is right there. If you haven't seen my video on that, go check it out here. But yeah, it's such a better movie. And usually I am a little bit more biased when I see like a really good movie than I see a really bad one. But it's not even just that. This movie really does suck. I really don't think you should watch it. Even if you're the biggest Mario fan, you could just wait until it comes out on, I think it comes out on Peacock or whatever on streaming. I just don't think it's worth seeing this in theaters. There's not much I could say that's positive that I would say to watch this movie and recommend, because I watched this movie and I really didn't even take away anything from this movie. It may sound like I'm being really harsh, but I'm just trying to be straightforward about this. Oh, I do have some positives with it. In my spoiler section, I'll go into that, but there is some good parts of this movie, but overall, I just don't think it's worth seeing it. Just wait until streaming services if you really want to see it. Unless you're like the biggest Mario or Nintendo fan ever. Yeah, sure. I guess you could always wanted to see this movie in the theaters, but even then I wouldn't do that. And to be fair, I barely played the games. I'm still playing through the first one right now. I played a little bit when I was younger, so maybe that's a factor too. But even then, I still feel like you should be able to make a really good movie without relying on nostalgia for the entire movie. So maybe that's just me. Maybe if you play both the Mario Galaxy movies, you would love this movie, but I really do think it's lacking a lot, especially plot wise. But at the end of the day, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? If you guys really want to see this movie in theaters, then go ahead and see it in theaters. But if you just want a theater experience and a good one, please go see Project Hail Mary. Okay, now starting my spoiler review section. I'm gonna start with the positives and I'll go into the negatives because I have a lot of negatives. It's gonna be one of these videos if you're familiar with those on the channel. But yeah, I'll just list some of the positives, then go straight into the negatives since most of this video is gonna be 90% negative. I thought the comedy was pretty cool. I mean, I can't really remember if I liked the first one, but I feel like the first one had a good amount of comedy. Yeah, this one was alright. I wouldn't say it was anything crazy, but it definitely did have a couple good jokes. I do like the ending with the post-credit scene with the Luna star. I think that was a really funny way to bring that joke, because I'm pretty sure it's the same star that used to be in the prison, unless I'm wrong. But either way, I thought the Luna star was funny in the first movie, and I definitely think it was funny in this one that they brought it back. It might honestly be one of my favorite parts of the movie. I like Peach and Rosalina being sisters. I don't know if that's canon in Mario universe or anything like that, but if it is, then it's cool. And if it isn't, then I think it's a really cool change and stuff like that. I do wish they explored that a bit more, but I'm just gonna try to stick with positive so far. But yeah, it would have been cool if they went more in depth for that. Alright, another positive, I do like Bowser and Bowser Jr.'s relationship. I thought it was just really good, like the bedtime story and the introduction of Bowser Jr.'s character was really good too. I do think they could have explored this a bit more, just like I said with the other thing before. But yeah, it did feel like they were jumbling a lot of different plot lines around. But sticking with positives, I also do like Bowser Jr.'s new powers, I guess, because at least from all the Mario games I played, I never seen Bowser Jr. do anything like that. So if that is a new power system thing, then I think that's very creative, and I thought it was a really cool change, or well, addition to the movie. All right, and I think that is all my positives for this movie, which is pretty sad. So yeah, let's go straight into the negatives. The first big takeaway I took from this movie was that Peach is the MC, and making her the MC of the movie is definitely a choice that I definitely did not see happening. I say that kind of sarcastically, but she really does. I think if someone goes through the movie or something like that, I'm pretty sure she has more screen time than Mario. It's called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but you know, which honestly I feel like it's not too bad of a choice. I mean, I'm a big Mario fan, but I do think what they're doing with Peach was really cool and exploring more of her character. But I feel like if you're going to go through that, you might as well finish all the way strong, like no half measures, which I feel like they were doing throughout this entire movie with not just Peach, but Bowser and Bowser Jr. and Mario Luigi. Like, they just we're trying to shove too many things into this movie at once. So that I feel like no one really had a full closure arc, which they all deserved. So I have no problem making Peach the MC. I mean, even though it doesn't sound right on paper, I think if they handled it in a good way and still gave Mario a good amount of screen time, I feel like they could have made this work a lot better. Next negative, I know people are going to be complaining because this is a kids movie, so the plot shouldn't be that in depth and blah blah blah. But we really have the Sonic movies, and the Sonic movies or any of those movies are leagues better than this one. So I feel like there is definitely a standard for when it comes to this. And why not have kids have consume good media with good plots instead of just a nostalgia fest movie? The main thing I'm complaining about here is that what happened to the real world? Like I know the fantasy world is so much better and we're gonna spend most of the movie doing that, but I feel like we should be at least acknowledging the real world because that's a part of their life. If they had it where Mario and Luigi just said like, all right, we're just gonna live in this fantasy world, then I feel like that would have been better. Like generally, I think the Minecraft movie handled that better with Steve deciding to live in that because I feel like that's at least more realistic and it makes sense for his character and stuff like that. And at least they showed that on the screen. But I guess it's just assumed that they just go between both of the worlds. But like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm wondering how people are treating them in the real world. Like, I know the parents are kind of proud of them in the last movie at the end, but like, are they still like plumbers now? Like, when Mario was saying, like, oh, the princess would never be with a guy with me because I'm a plumber. And I'm like, are you a plumber? Like, we haven't seen your actual life at all. So it feels kind of weird not exploring that, especially since they were kind of like the heroes of the city. So, like, it would have been nice to see some type of celebration or something. They got like a medal or something like that, especially if they're just going to act like all this stuff is normal in the real world because we got Donkey Kong and Yoshi just going around the real world. So if that's the case, then why not just show Mario and Luigi getting like, I don't know, some type of accomplishment or just something changing in their life? Because we don't know anything about their real world life since the first movie. So I feel that really is ridiculous. But yeah, with most things with this movie, I feel like the more you think about it, the more your head's gonna hurt. So I try not to think about this movie too much. So okay, like I said before, I barely played any of the games, but even from playing some of the games and remembering back from when I did play as a kid, I really did think there was gonna be a lot more cooler galaxies or planets or whatever. I feel like all the ones they did explore were pretty boring. I mean, I was just playing the game recently and I got to the B planet, so I guess that one made sense and it was in the game technically. But I felt like they were just more like hit stops, like a bunch of side quests that were kind of like filler. And I felt like we didn't really even get to see anything cool from these planets. Like, at least if they had power ups and stuff like that, then yeah, I think that would be really cool. But no, they didn't even have that until like the very end. So I feel like the only really cool one was the Bowser planet thing, but they made that one for themselves. So yeah, I feel like having a galaxy movie, you should be exploring all these different galaxies and how it's different. But I feel like each one really just looks like the same one as the Mushroom Kingdom planet or whatever. So I feel like they definitely missed out on a big opportunity for that. Talking about these side quests, it really was just so boring. The beginning of the movie was fine, the ending of the movie was fine. It's just the entire middle half is just so boring. It just feels like filler. Like I just generally don't understand the point of separating the two groups just for them to get back together and have the same like information. So it's not even like they're exchanging different information at all. I mean, I guess they did a little bit, but it still just felt super slow. Like I feel like that was just not needed. Like all the missions they went into for the entire middle of the movie, I feel like it was just so boring. They added like no value. I mean, sure, it was focused on the characters a bit, and that's just like a tiny bit. But then, like, most of these arcs don't really even get resolved by the end, which is really just sad. And if they do get resolved, they get rushed, like Peach giving Mario a kiss at the very end. But like, it definitely feels rushed, like especially with the Bowser forgiveness arc, because I feel like they were really doing something with it, but it kind of just came out of the blue. I wish we just got to explore that more, but no, they also had to make time for Mario and Peach's love story and Bowser Jr. having screen time and Rosalina and Peach backstory. So I feel like if they just picked one or two plot lines and just really stuck with that and really just spent most of their time developing it, I feel like that would be really good. I don't know too much about writing, but one of the first things I'm learning about writing is every scene should have some type of impact and building on like something should change from every scene. And I feel like this movie has things that change at a very minimal level, which makes it seem so boring, or just things that don't change at all. So, but you know what they did have time for? Shoving in a bunch of cameos like Fox and Mr. Game and Watch and all these different. I can't even name all of them off the top of my head, but yeah, they just love shoving in a bunch of cameos. They had time for that, I guess, but not for an actual plot. So pretty funny how that works. I mean, I guess they're trying to build up like a Smash Bros thing, but yeah, I don't really see the point in this. least focus on these characters already. You already have so many characters. You already have so many different plot lines you want to have right now. I feel like building this up is not the way to do it, and just shoving all these characters in, trying to get like a crowd reaction doesn't feel like the right way of doing this. Should feel more natural. And I feel like Fox was like the main one that felt kind of natural. And look, maybe this is just because I haven't finished playing the game. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed this movie, especially if you played the first two games. And maybe I'll come back to this when I finish the two games. I'm definitely not rewatching it though, but I'll think back on it. Also, I know this video's already kind of long, but I also do want to trash on one last thing before I get to my rating. The Peach Casino scene where she like 1v 500 minions with no power ups. I feel like that's just definitely really interesting because what's the point? Whole point of having power ups if you could just do this? I guess this is a big guess and speculation because, of course, they never really explained it. Maybe, just maybe, you can argue because she was born from the space dust or whatever like that. She has like space kind of powers like Rosaline and stuff like that. But that was never explored throughout the entire movie. So I really do feel like that is a stretch, or at least to add some subtle thing to it before that. But no, it just looked like she was just doing that just because she's like that. Because like I feel like Mario is not getting out of that situation. It's going to become a chase scene. Like that is just insane to be able to do that. And then she just took a power up at the end to threaten him. So I feel like it just undermined everything she just did. If she could do all that without a power up, why give her a power up just to intimidate him again? I feel like that's already intimidating if you defeated his entire army of like 1,000 minions or whatever. Who knows? I didn't write this movie. All right, so that is my review on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I know this is a lot. I know this was made in a hate video, but yeah, there was just a lot of negative stuff about it. So overall, after thinking about it, I actually just recently changed my score, but I'll give this a 5.5 out of 10. I originally had it at a 6, but thinking back on it, I really do not like this. And honestly, it could probably be a bit lower. Anything lower than that, I'm just thinking about MCU stuff. Does this really hit the lows of Ant-Man 3, Echo, and some of those movies, like, or Incredible Hulk? Like, those are like my bottom tier ones, and I don't think it reaches the bottom tier ones. As much as I hate this movie, it doesn't make sense. It definitely has good things, and I could see where they were going. Like they had good ideas, it just wasn't executed properly. Ant-Man 3, Incredible Hulk, and Echo. I don't think I could name anything positive I like from those movies or shows. So, yeah, that's why it's not as low for me. But if it's lower for you, like maybe a 3 or 4, I feel like that's pretty justified too. Really did feel like they did the bare minimum for this movie, which really is sad. I was pretty excited for this, especially with playing the games. Definitely the most boring movie I ever watched though. Like generally, I don't think this movie is rewatchable at all. I don't think anyone could pay me a certain amount of money to rewatch this movie. Yeah, if they make a third one, I'm probably staying home to see it. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this is a bit of a longer one. I did not expect it to be this long, but I guess I really did hate this movie, and I had so many flaws to point out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, okay, so next week I had to double check. I will be making my Invincible Season 4 review. So yeah, stick around for that. And I finally finished Boba Fett, so I'll finally be getting a review out for that for anyone who was really excited for that. And then yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one with Invincible Season 4.